table right now to clear it up about this ridiculous NAACP accusation of Tea Party people. Ridiculous. I am, for those of you that haven't noticed, I am black. This comes as a shock to the mainstream media. He's a black man? I didn't know he was black. I have spoken at nearly 24 Tea Party events and rallies across this country. I have talked with hundreds of Tea Party attendees. Many of you all have called my radio show and talked about the fact that you are active with the Tea Party movement, and I have an unequivocal statement to make to this ridiculous accusation. The Tea Party people are not racist, they are patriots. About what patriotism is all about. You see, patriots believe in the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution. They recognize it. They don't try to ignore it. They don't try to ignore the Declaration and the Constitution. And later on in this hour, I'm going to have 3 guests up here, and we are going to talk about the Constitution from 3 different perspectives, because I don't believe some people in Washington, D.C. have ever read the Constitution. So we want to make sure that you get a perspective about the most important document in our history. So we will be armed. Now, about this NAACP accusation about racism. All right, let's have it quiet. They have accused this movement. I call it a citizens movement. It's a Tea Party movement, it's a citizens movement, it's an intelligent thinkers movement, it's an American prosperity movement. It's a movement of people who are just sick and tired of being sick and tired of the same old stuff going on in Washington, D.C. That's what this movement is about. Now, allow me to give you my perspective on why we are being attacked. First of all, I made it real clear. I did a press conference earlier today up this morning, and I made it real clear. I made it real clear at the press conference today. I made it real clear in my formal written statement that many of you might have seen that has shown up on biggovernment.org. and a number of other places. Anytime people ask me, well, what did I wrote it out so they wouldn't mess it up. And when I first heard about this silly accusation, the first thing I told the first reporter that I talked to, because my phone lit up, I said, first of all, let me make sure you understand this, and you can put this in the opening paragraph. Herman Cain is a Tea Party person. You got that? Make no mistake about it. I'm a Tea Party person. Now, I don't call us Tea Partiers, because see, the liberals will figure out a way to try to mess that up. Oh, they just a bunch of partiers. We are Tea Party people, and we represent the Tea Party nation all over this country. Now, here's my speculation as to why we are being attacked. Number one is a distraction from the failed policies of this administration and this Congress. So they create a distraction. That's why. Remember, you heard me talk about the sin tactics? This is exactly what this is. Shift the subject. They want to shift the subject from the fact that jobs are not being created. They want to shift the subject from the fact that the stimulus spending bill is not working. They want to shift the subject from the fact that the Gulf oil crisis was mishandled. They want to shift the subject from the fact that the health care reform legislation is a travesty upon the American people. They want to shift the subject from the fact that this so-called financial reform legislation is going to basically take away more of our liberties, and it is going to help kill business in America. That's what they want the distraction to be away from, so they play the race card. But it's not going to work. Not going to work. So the first reason that they're doing this is going to be a distraction. Because that's what liberals do when they don't have the facts. They want us focusing on all this nonsense like racism when the policies are not working. But at the same time, they continue to tell you that the policies are working. The second reason that they have played the race card, the NAACP has lost its relevance. And they are looking for relevance in the wrong place. Race. I am proud to say that the NAACP back in the 50s and the 60s, they played an important role in this country for helping this country get to where we are relative to the Civil Rights Act of 1964, the Voting Rights Act of 1965. They played an important role and they were very impactful. Now, over the last 40 years, you would have hoped that they would have reinvented themselves and focused on the other issues that an organization that is supposed to be concerned about people of color in this country, but yet they didn't do that. And so currently, as an organization, I'm sad to say, they are floundering. They are looking for relevance, and in looking for relevance, they are looking in the wrong place, and that is around race, which may have been the thing that they did back in the 50s and the 60s. And when I come back, I'm going to tell you what I think about all those people who are going to call me names because I don't agree with the NAACP. You listen to the Herman Cain Show. News Talk, 750